This presentation is on the Auditor General's report to Parliament on the use of cloud computing across Queensland Government. Cloud computing offers an alternative way for departments to deliver services. It enables ready access to computing power on demand. The departments can pay for only what they use without upfront investment in purchasing and installing ICT. It also enables departments to have an ICT environment to experiment and explore ideas that can lead to innovation and improve productivity in delivering public services. The whole of government approach to governing ICT involves three broad areas. DCT and QGCIO provide central oversight and support, and each department has internal governance structures for their ICT services. QGCIO's main role is to develop whole of government ICT strategy, workforce plans, and frameworks with the aim of ICT investment supporting government's policy outcomes. DCT is responsible for delivering whole of government ICT programs and strategic ICT procurement. It establishes vendor panels that departments can use when purchasing new ICT services. All departments are responsible for departmental ICT assets, investments, associated risks, and implementing whole of government strategies at departmental levels. In 2012, the Queensland Government released its ICT audit report. This report highlighted that departments have a significant number of high-cost ICT systems and that some critical systems are on outdated technologies. These systems had limited disaster recovery capabilities. The report also referred to the history of complex, long and costly ICT projects. In response to this report, QGCIO released the ICT Strategy 2013-17 and the Cloud First Strategy. This cloud strategy was the first for the Australian public sector. The cloud strategy meant that departments are to implement cloud-based systems unless there is a business case for an alternative solution. We examined how well departments are using cloud strategy in modernizing their ICT assets and services to deliver business value. QGCIO is included in this audit for their central oversight and support role. DCT, we examined both their central role of strategic ICT purchasing and how they are managing their own ICT at a departmental level. At the Department of Housing and Public Works and the Department of Education, we examined their departmental role in managing ICT services. We also conducted structured interviews with all departments to obtain information on their level of cloud adoption and related opportunities and challenges that they see. In conclusion, it is not possible for us to determine how well departments have progressed against cloud strategy objectives because QGCIO did not define performance measures or targets. They are also not monitoring and measuring departmental progress. Departments are in the early stages of adopting cloud and consider cloud only when they are changing systems or implementing new systems. None of the departments is adopting a strategic approach to assess their overall ICT assets and services to determine where cloud computing or other emerging technologies can add the most value. Neither are the departments addressing their key change activities for people, process, and technology to adopt new ways of delivering services. Departments are also not aware of all the cloud solutions in use on their ICT infrastructure and whether these solutions are for government business or for staff's personal use. As a result, they risk leaving government information insecure. Failure to plan and monitor these services limits departments' abilities to benefit from cloud and other emerging technologies. It can also result in higher cost ICT environments, more operational risks, and inability to keep up with citizen expectations and continued risks around aging systems. Under central oversight and support, we found that the cloud computing strategy and its implementation model has created awareness amongst departments about the use of cloud, but it has not driven the change that is needed to develop mature frameworks for increased use of new and emerging technologies. In the absence of effective leadership and focus, departments have so far implemented selected standalone cloud solutions using a piecemeal approach. We have recommended that QGCIO reviews and updates the strategy and defines performance indicators and criteria for outcomes and benefits that meet the objective and vision of the strategy. We have also recommended that using the whole of government data that QGCIO already collects, it highlights to departments services that represent maximum value and benefits at the lowest cost and risk to transition. In the area of procurement, DCT has established 2 panels to support departments in purchasing their cloud services, but it cannot demonstrate that these panels are providing value for money. DCT does not track the cost of establishing panels and does not have data to identify departments that are using the panels. Instead, DCT relies on vendors to provide this data. As a result, DCT cannot forecast future use and plan for what the future panels should comprise. There are times when departments negotiate directly with vendors to purchase services. In these cases, departments do not have central guidance on additional contractual and due diligence requirements for different types of services. Critical to transforming ICT is to broaden the capability of the ICT workforce. QGCIO identified gaps in senior leadership, information security, and enterprise architecture as the primary skills. Our analysis in Figure 2D shows 55% of the ICT workforce is involved in operations. While QGCIO is delivering senior leadership programs for ICT, they have not developed a whole-of-government view of required workforce capability. This increases the risk that at an overall level, the ICT workforce and capabilities will not align with government's strategic direction. We have recommended that QGCIO and DCT develop transition plans to address the skills gap from a whole-of-government perspective. Looking at the implementation of the strategy, we note that departmental focus remains on managing ICT assets when it needs to shift to transforming the overall ICT service delivery. The 3 departments we audited are amongst the first to adopt cloud computing. 2 of the departments are incorporating cloud computing within their ICT strategies. Across all departments, though, only 9% have included cloud computing within their ICT strategies. Most departments do not have a clear strategy on how to integrate cloud services into their overall ICT environment. Departments are taking small steps to implement cloud computing for their websites, email, and calendars for some parts of their business. Figure 4A shows that 47% of the departments still manage their emails in-house, despite email and collaboration systems being strong candidates for cloud computing. Departments reported lack of expertise as one of their key challenges in implementing cloud computing. With such a large component of their ICT workforce, that is 55%, involved in operating and managing ICT assets, departments need sustained focus and investment in the medium term to broaden the skills of their staff in enterprise architecture, information management, and new ICT service models. Departments with a large ICT operations workforce will have the highest change requirement. Figure 4D shows the distribution of ICT operational management staff by department. Where departments are using cloud solutions, they are not effectively managing ongoing risks. These risks that are introduced through cloud computing are sometimes different to those that relate to traditional ICT. The results of DCT's cloud discovery scan showed that departments are not aware of all the cloud services running on their ICT environment. Those departments are also not able to identify whether the 8,600 gigabytes of data, 75% of which is transferred outside of Australia, is for government business or for staff's personal use. Therefore, it is not known whether any departmental data transferred through these services is adequately protected. Thank you for listening. The full report can be found on our website.